Hello and welcome back to the Underground Curator, bringing you the best songs you've never heard. Find a quiet place, put on some good headphones, and let's explore some great new music together. If you can't tell by the intro music, today's video has a bit of a metal theme. We got two songs from the mid-2000s, both in the melodic death metal genre. It's from two fairly known bands from that era, as far as that genre goes. We got In Flames and Bullet for My Valentine, but they're two songs that are underplayed and very underrated. The first song we're going to start off with is the Bullet for My Valentine track. They are actually the band that got me into metal. It was on a soundtrack to, I think it was Burnout Revenge, the video game, back in 2005 when that came out, and that song freaked me out because the screaming was crazy and intense, but I liked rock music and the guitar was unlike anything I'd ever heard. It got me so pumped and it got my heart racing, got my adrenaline going, and I was like, whoa, it felt edgy, dark, and cool, powerful, you just want to go on a rampage listening to that music. And I was like, wow. And it actually wasn't until many years later that I went back and listened to that full EP and found out it was full of amazing songs. And sadly, I think they've kind of gone downhill after their first couple albums. So it was really fun to go back and explore that. And I found this one that I absolutely love and is always going to be in my workout playlist for sure, because it goes hard, but it feels good to listen to, man. It gives you energy, and it's not grating on the ears like some metal genres or some metal bands. Matt Tuck, who's the vocalist for the band, has set the gold standard for me when it comes to metal high screams and mids. He just does it in a way that's electrifying, and it doesn't sound harsh to listen to. It just complements the sound. So let's get started and I'll break down more aspects of it. And turn up that volume. This type of music's meant to be felt, not just heard.
This is what I can see through my eyes. This is the color of your sunlight. This is what I can see through your eyes.
So they went way hard right out the gate there. But what I actually think makes this song a little bit more palatable to the average non-metal listener who doesn't maybe have that acquired taste is that it actually has a pretty standard time signature and a driving beat that's very consistent that lets you just feel the energy of the song right on beat every time it hits and kind of nod your head and and go with the rhythm even if you're not totally used to what you're hearing. Oh, and before we continue, we have to acknowledge how freaking cool that album art is.
Jump, 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 jump. Can you see the light behind these eyes? Jump, 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 jump. Can you see the light behind these eyes? You can let me fall by my side. You betray me from the last time. To the light, I see that you shine. This is how I can see through your eyes. Jump. Jump, jump, jump. Can you see the light behind these eyes? Jump, 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 jump. Can you see the light behind these eyes? You can trip me for my last life. You're just another star that burns out too quickly, but I still see you shining. I'm just another guy that's fucked up and messed it, but you still love me.
So I love the metal genre, but I'm actually very picky about what I like and what I listen to. And one of the requirements for me to really enjoy a metal song is if it has a chorus that's a little bit brighter than the verse, or I can kind of sing along maybe a little bit or have some clean vocals or something that's a little bit brighter so it's not just all grating, heavy, dark, low in the ranges music. I think that really kind of gives some good contrasts and lets the song develop better.
I don't know. This is what I see through my eyes.
what did I tell you about his high screams? For those of you that don't know, screaming like that is actually one of the hardest things to do with your voice. It takes years of practice and developing the muscles of your larynx to be able to even come close to doing that. And even with that, he still has a special talent for being able to get that tone and range and power. It's awesome. I love how he does that.
You're just another star that's burned out too quickly, but I still see you shining. I'm just another guy that's fucked up and makes me, but you still love me. Why? I don't know.
So I haven't really touched on the lyrics of this song, and that's because metal is more about saying things, little phrases in cool ways that sound appropriately dark and fit the song instrumentally speaking. But there's a few couple good lines in there that when you hear them with the song sound pretty good, but I don't even really know what the song's about. It's not super coherent from line to line. Now, that song might not be to everyone's taste, but maybe give it another listen next time you're at the gym and you need the motivation to do that last set. That's when it feels so good. All right, the next band we got is In Flames. They are easily one of the most prolific Swedish metal bands in history, and for good reason. They've been around since 1996 and really almost invented a genre and style of music. They were doing screaming since way back when Nirvana was just starting to get big. Like they were really ahead of the time in my opinion. But this song actually comes from their 2008 album A Sense of Purpose, and to me this is one of their breakout albums when they really refined their sound, and it's incredibly powerful. And this guy who's the lead singer, his name's Anders, um, has one of the most powerful emotion invoking uh, voices I've ever heard. He has this really unique scream where it sounds metal, it sounds rock, it sounds heavy, but you really understand every bit of emotion he pours into every word, and you can understand him crystal clear. Which I think is really unique in the world of metal to be able to have that kind of vocal style. I don't think there's another band or will ever be another band like them. So here we go.
Look at the dead outside my window. Wonder what's on their mind.
He's actually screaming with melodic pitch. He's actually singing this song in full scream. I don't know how he does it. It seems impossible, but it's super cool. The other thing to notice is that it's super bass heavy so far. They do a lot of drop C and lower tuning in their songs, and they sync up that low notes on the guitar with the bass drums really well, and it gives a really full bass effect with the screaming that they do. But what's really cool is that in the minute they're going to flip it when they go to the chorus and add in this high pitched guitar for a contrast, and it really adds to the emotion of the song when he goes in this chorus. You'll see it here soon.
Why do they run? They all seem to have a mission, but then they cry themselves to sleep. You receive what you give, and this is like nothing. Oh, I feel like shit, but at least I feel something. It's
So even though the lyrics are a little bit ambiguous, I actually kind of like that it allows you to interpret them based on what's going on in your life. And because of that, sometimes in the right mood or in the right zone, these lyrics hit you different than they would otherwise. Or if they were too on the nose or too specific, that sometimes they almost get unrelatable. So sometimes having this kind of vague, almost mystical lyrics along with the song actually kind of makes them quite powerful. And there's definitely no lack of emotion behind them either, which is awesome. All right, in a few seconds here, you're going to hear clean guitar followed by a cymbal crash. And when you start to hear that cymbal build up, I want you to just take a big breath in. And when you hear the song kind of kick back in, then I want you to just let it all out and let out all your stress, all your anxiety, and just feel the song in your chest. All right, let's go. I hope you're able to see why this song has been therapeutic to me throughout the years. Um, Sometimes when I'm in a dark mood or have a lot of emotions going on, a lot of negative energy going on, this song is just such a good cathartic release, especially with that part in the middle there. It just hits on a different level. I would have loved to have seen that live recording when he first was just nailing those screams in the booth. It must have just felt so good to see that whole piece come together and see how it turned out, because it's quite extraordinary. Um, so hopefully you did enjoy this. I know metal's not everyone's thing, but there really is some genuine beauty and passion and technical skill involved that is unrivaled in other genres. So again, please, please, please support these artists. Buy some merch, listen to their music, go to a show if they ever are allowed to do that ever again. Hopefully soon. Um, Thank you so much for listening.